Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be doing a preview of business automation and digitalization tools offered by Focus Softnet for real estate businesses. Real estate businesses such as property development companies, facility management or service oriented companies, construction project management companies, and also real estate agencies. At Focus, we believe customer relationships, documentation management, as well as workflow automations are a core for these businesses. Certainly, knowing your customer and keeping up with the technology are cornerstones or key fundamental differentiators against competition and helps them create an edge. In this regard, Focus Softnet brings in Centra Real Estate Management System. Centra REMS is an online, cloud-based, easy to deploy and fully configurable real estate CRM platform. Centra REMS caters to the business needs of real estate property development companies within the framework of marketing, sales, service, and asset management. As an agile CRM platform, Centra REMS offers a 360-degree view of all the business aspects and provides a complete control over the operations. The solution landscape encompasses through modules such as sales and leasing, which hosts wide range of data pertaining to data entry elements, pertaining to elements such as property information, purchaser information, the demographic information of a purchaser, the information related to pipeline, sales funnel, asset availability, legalization, documentation, contract management, digital signatures. All these are the aspects which are covered under sales and leasing module of Centra REMS. Further, Centra REMS also hosts CAFM, which is Computer Aided Facility Management System, which enables property development companies which would intend to provide services to its tenants or property owners, the service element as value-added services through an organized framework of PPM or service level agreements, PPMs such as planned preventive maintenance and bill on the maintenances as well. Along the way, Centra REMS also provides visibility or a value-added services in the form of Owners Association, which is a web-based community which helps a property development company to manage functions such as providing visibility of service tickets to tenants, providing visibility of due date of renewals, booking of facilities, events, etc. The key features include property units, opportunity management, lease contracts, booking registration, documentation management, as well as reports and BI. The ecosystem moves around the four corners, particularly sales and leasing, rental and tenant management, facility management, and mobile app or customer self-service access, which can be available to the tenants or to the unit owners to access as CSS users for various facilities. In this video, we would be looking at a process lifecycle or a very simple process lifecycle of a sales system workflow, which is hosted on REMS platform of Centra. The sequence of events could be possibly like this. As you can see on the screen, the journey would start from REMS inquiry, wherein a sales executive would be publishing an inquiry on the REMS platform. Subsequently, he would have the steps or the sequence of events as part of workflow, as part of your activities for the day. He would be updating the stages in terms of open inquiry, in progress, possibly bookings update, closed inquiry. All these details we would go through such kind of stage updates. Similarly, within the framework of Centra REMS, there is a approval process, there is a approval hierarchy which can be defined, and how a notification would be sent to the respective manager or to the real estate manager upon action or call for action notifications which can be sent from the platform itself. Subsequently, when the person is acting on this particular piece of information, how it will be informing back to the next person for the subsequent process of the information. Further, there is a bookings update, eventually a contract or a sales agreement. And before a contract or a sales agreement, there can be prelims or prerequisites which have to be done in the form of NRIC, in the form of legal letters or side letters, for example, stamp duty. All these are prelims which have to be fulfilled as part of workflow automation. And similarly, they have to be attached on the system. Only then a contract or a sale agreement can be created. That can be possibly viewed on. Similarly, we could also look at the cross-module integration. That is, once a unit is being booked and once a unit is being registered as occupied, it would go back to the unit status update. So let's dive into the platform itself for a quick sneak preview of the platform, and along the way witness the user experience of the platform as well. So I've logged in this context. I've logged in as one of this login by name Alex Tan, who is a sales executive for a REMS database. And the moment he logs in, he can possibly have visibility of data elements or data metrics such as inquiries under his portfolio against various properties. This is, for example, these are the various properties which he's holding, and these are the open inquiries which he's holding at the moment. Similarly, he's able to see a sales funnel, which is giving a brief outline of the open, the in progress, as well as the converted to booking. So he can have this visibility against various metrics or various data elements, and he can have the visibility against various type of graph charts also. Further, you can also see the bookings which has been done by him so far for that particular period. So like, for example, there are 3 different type of bookings which has been confirmed by this particular sales staff. So this is an example of getting to know where you stand the moment you log in onto the platform. So dashboards or dashlets are one of the important elements which Centra REMS brings in, so that every user, the moment they log in, they can get to know their state of affairs as well as call for action notifications as on the platform itself when they log in. So in this example, he's not having any notifications. If somebody else is there, he can, if he's having a call for action notification, then they would be required to take the next level action, apart from they being notified on the email as well. So moving on, as a sales executive, I might possibly have transactions or daily activities such as calendar update, daily activities such as visit update, daily activities such as unit viewing, appointments. All those can be managed by Alex on the screen itself. And while Alex is doing that, Alex is able to define tasks as well as schedule the task along with various team members. Further, Alex is also able to have reminders and notifications for himself as well as for the people who he reports to, possibly the manager. So for example, if there is a meeting which he needs to call for along with the manager, he can invite the manager from the Centra REMS platform itself. So it's an organizer which helps Alex to manage his routine activities on a daily basis. Further, the moment he logs into the platform, possibly his interest would be to go into the units or have a visibility of the units and start doing the activities or pursue the open units from the platform. So the moment he logs into the PMS units, we would have a landing page in such a way that it outlines with clarity as which are the units which are in vacant stage, which are the units which are occupied, the units which are under offer, the units which are under renovation, as well as the units which are booked. So this way, Alex can have a clear understanding. Also, he can have functions such as filter, like filter on area, filter on type of usage type, for example, commercial or a shop or an office type or an apartment. Similarly, he can have user experience is so seamless that he can have ascending, descending parameters being worked upon also. So in a way, Alex can perform his activities from the Kanban view itself, or he can click on possibly the list view, and over here he can have a visibility in a columnar manner. As you can see, there are unit statuses which is booked, under offer, vacant, renovation, etc., etc. So along with this, along with the information, it is also giving unit type, area, floor, usage type, facing, number of bedrooms, etc., etc. So for instance, if Alex wants to move with a transaction, he can possibly have transactions being started from here by clicking on the unit, and he goes to the next step, which is possibly booking, or possibly booking or PMS inquiry or a contract. Depends again on the role or the security accesses given to Alex. In this example, he also can create a contract. Depending on the property development company, whether a sales executive can create a contract, or sales executive's role is to create an inquiry, convert into a booking, and the rest will be followed by the real estate manager or the accounts team. Depends again on the workflow definition adopted by a particular company. So in this example, we can possibly get into the action and demonstrate a booking transaction which can be performed by a user Alex. So on new, he can see possibly the information related to the booking date. For instance, he can enter the booking date to be, let's say, 10th of September. Then he can have the update of a purchaser, which is nothing but the information of the buyer with all the demographic details, age details, income information, the race information, the district where he's coming from or she's coming from. All these personal information can be updated by Alex and can be kept on updated during the course of time as well. So for instance, I'm using one purchaser by name Mr. Wong, and assume that Alex is giving a discount of about $10,000 instead of a percentage. I'm using a dollar value for a 1.2 million unit, for instance. So subsequently, assuming that there is no agent over here, he's doing it directly. He moves on to the next stage, possibly the booking tab. Over here, he can possibly see information such as booking amount, agreement amount, token amount, etc. This can be categorized further. In this generic example, we have two parameters. One is a booking amount, let's say 5% because it's a constructed unit, for instance, or a non-constructed unit, and remaining 95% at a later stage. So apart from the discount. So I'm just using a due date. This due date is supposed to be, let's say, for example, I'm keeping it like this for the sake of demo. So over here, you have facilities or options to have an installment plan. We have facilities or options to have a stage-based plan also, which can be defined depending on the type of requirement a company or a property requires for. Further, there can be provisions of additional charges, which could be legalization, solicitor, transportation, or stamp duty. All these charges, which could be standard, can also be updated by Alex in the tab over here. So these are all prefixes or prelims which can be attached over here. So once that is being done, there can be furthermore information related to the documentation aspect, which is NRIC, passport, bank information, attached subsequent documents. Is the document checklist is being in progress or in deferred stage? Whatever is that, you can select that. So can we raise the contract or can we not raise the contract? All these are the information which can be selected by user, and the document repository or attachments can be done from the system or from a common OneDrive or a Dropbox link as well, from a global repository. So if to this extent, I'm just keeping it simple, and let's say I would want to save this particular unit. Booking number is 202006. The reason I have referred this is because there is a workflow which I would want to talk about in the next session. So once the transaction is saved by Alex, it would possibly move on to the next level, which is possibly, in this example, it is super user. This depends again on the comprehensive process of workflow and approval hierarchy, which is being established on the platform. So as you can see on the screen, there is a booking approval which has been initiated from Alex, and it will invoke a message to the next user, which is super user, as an email as well as an alert on the platform. So when the next user logs in to the platform, or rather before the login of the platform, he would possibly get a notification by email. As like this, in this notification, the following booking has been assigned to you for your approval. If you can refer to the inquiry, the reference is Mr. Wong, PK2020-06. So this is how a notification will be sent across to the real estate manager or the next in line hierarchy for a call for action. Now, once this particular person or this particular user gets the notification, he can log into the platform and do the respective call for action. So here you go. When the next person logs in, you can possibly see a notification as like this. In this, you can have the notification such as BK202006 as this particular notification, which has the details of in progress, in document checklist with the discounted rate, etc. So at this point of time, the approver can possibly go into the system and do the approval with a remark, let's say approved, and save the transaction. Save the transaction. So in a way, it will complete the transaction or the sequence of approval by the real estate manager or the admin user for the booking which has been raised by Alex. Eventually, once the documentation or the checklist is being updated, the same will move on to the next level, which is possibly the sales agreement or a contract. Further, there can be various other data entry elements that can be recorded on this REMS platform, starting from inquiry, wherein the listing of inquiry update can be updated by Alex, along with information related to unit view, possibly updating the preferred date for a unit view by the prospective buyer, as well as information of time for this particular buyer, so that a schedule can be generated from the platform itself in such a way that it lists down all the properties to be viewed or planned to be viewed on a particular day. As you can see on the screen, this can be a representation of a unit viewing schedule obtained from REMS platform. Other than that, there can be REMS bookings. I think this email which I have just presented talked about. Moving on, the next thing which REMS brings in onto the platform is the digital signatures, the ability of this platform to do documentation and signing digitally through a Sign Easy app, which is available on Android as well as iOS. The key features for Sign Easy documentation app is it signs the document. You can sign the documents on the move. There is a multi-level authorization. There is a push documentation for documents for signature, as well as pulling the documents for signature from signatures can be available on the REMS platform itself. Further on, the CAFM landscape is like this, wherein you have a start of a service request, a service provider model, the technician getting into action, the call center getting the update of the survey, as well as enabling an end of service request. Focus Softnet USPs, the investment friendly model, SaaS in premise, SaaS on cloud. Second of it being localized as per Asia Pac's territory, be it for Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, and so on. Similarly, the localized business development, implementation, and support for comprehensive handholding experience. fourth being modular and scalable. The modules of Focus Softnet product line is quite extensive. You can hop on with the journey from the pain area perspective and grow along with the business and add on to the modules and scale them up gradually in the due course of time. Global strengths, SOPs, industry best practices from all over the world. Consider the fact that Focus Softnet, being a multinational company with presence across 19 countries around the world, we bring in the best practices and customers can leverage on the experiences of Focus Softnet. Further, the customer engagement and the service enablements. For more information, please get in touch with the local offices. And for further more information, you can have a look at comprehensive demo or specific demo requirements. You can book a demo today. Thank you.